Hi guys. Good morning. Early morning for a change. So just confirm once that we're audible and visible, all three of us, GP, Sazeal, and me. Uh, this was a long expected line. So I think we've been stating this for quite some time. Ki CAT notification expected hai last Sunday of July, and good to see that at least some of the things we can predict. Not too sure about how well we'll be able to predict regarding the paper and other stuff, but at least we are able to predict the notification. So, with on that note, welcome GP and Cecile.
Regarding the paper and other
Hi,
stuff.
hi. Good morning.
Good morning. Good
Okay.
morning.
So,
But
ITK,
Gautam,
Om Prakash,
Gautam, even the paper can be predicted, yeah.
uh,
Irrespective of what the paper is, 50% is a very good score. We know this. And irrespective of what the structure of the paper is, what we definitely know, the question types are the same. In fact, CAT 24 में मेरे slot में there were two questions which are repeated from CAT 23. So if you look at the last 5 years or last 15 years papers, you'll see the questions are the same. Okay, the only difference is in some papers there will be 2-3 extra difficult questions or 2-3 extra easy questions. But yeah. So paper is also very, very predictable is what I would say.
GP
yeah,
इसे ऐड कर रहा हूँ. आई थिंक 2022 और 2023 में जब पैरा कंप्लीशन क्वेश्चन ऐड हुआ, हमारे
हाँ.
सीडीसी में वो था, हमने प्रेडिक्ट किया था वो. जब चारों
Right.
क्वेश्चन टाइप्स भी आया हमारे नेक्स्ट ईयर, आई थिंक 24 में, इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग, तभी भी हमने एक दो मॉक्स में प्रेडिक्ट किया था. सो या, वी हैव बीन डूइंग दिस फॉर अ व्हाइल.
yeah.
Okay.
So, what I basically meant by that was I don't want students to get too, colored with the fact that last year 99 percentile was at this score, so इस साल भी वो होगा. This was just
हाँ.
a
That is
very,
the only
very
thing I would say is not predictable.
बस so that was my logic behind stating कि वो part predict करने पे मत जाओ, वो मत सोचो कि last year ये हुआ, last year हुआ तो वो होगा. That's basically what it meant. Another thing is we'll soon find out which IIM is setting this paper. I think notification में आया होगा. तो we should not go back and state last time इस IIM ने इस year में ये set किया था तो इसलिए उस time verbal difficult था तो इस बार भी verbal difficult. So those are the things which I meant, that just be a little careful, don't read too many things into it. But other than that, like GP stated, certain nuances are known, right? 50% of the total marks 99, 60% of the total marks 99.5. Those nuances I think are fairly known.
Gautam,
So
I am Kozhikode that is setting up that is responsible this year, if I am
yeah,
correct.
yeah, that's what I said. We'll see it in the notification soon. I didn't want to divulge that. सोचा कुछ तो रख दे
Okay.
notification में, ज्यादा कुछ नया है नहीं, एक दो चीजें हैं वो रख देते हैं. But yeah,
वो भी लीक कर दिया मैंने.
yeah, एक
ठीक है.
एक दो और important चीजें हैं, which I think also kind of signifies trend we've been seeing for some time, which is with respect to the price of the form and stuff like that. But we'll get to that. Before that, guys, we have a short PPT. We'll get into it. But GP, I can already see a couple of questions. I think one thing which I can
मुझे
say is generally इससे पहले जब हम सुबह करते थे session, whether it's at 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock and all, 20-30 people used to come. Good to see 100 are here, which automatically means अब जाग
on
गए हैं.
and GB, that too on a Sunday morning. So I think
Yeah.
the shit just got real वाली फंडा है. Notification comes out and people are like, okay, now it's here. Finally, we cannot avoid it anymore.
Countdown अब
इस
शुरू
बार
होता है.
कैट कैंसिल नहीं हुआ. इस बार कैट कैंसिल नहीं हुआ, हो रहा है. So
हो रहा है.
वो हो गया
अब
है.
प्रिपेयर करना ही पड़ेगा.
Yeah, perfect. So
So one or two questions that I want to take up, by the way, quickly before we start off. अभी बोल रहा है कि CDC 2 के लिए रजिस्टर कर दिया. वेरी गुड. ओपन CDC 2 हो रहा है. हम लोग इसकी बात बाद में भी करेंगे. लेकिन good if you have done this. If you have not done this, it's a good time to do it. As I said, shit just got real, and exactly that is what. So basically यहाँ पे उसी के related एक question है. Sir, just wanted to know that like CDC 2, will there be more tests we can give offline? Okay, if you guys make this one happen beautifully, and if you guys use it well, why not? We can do it. There's a possibility.
So, just to give a little bit of context, Sazeal, in case there are some people who are new here who don't know about
Please.
it, Open CDC 2 basically is taking place from the 8th to the 11th of August. What we're doing is we are holding this, at external locations across 45 cities. When we say external, we are not saying CL centers. We are saying external locations, which means colleges, centers where you'll go ahead and take your, many of them might be overlapping centers where you might be taking your CAT exam eventually. You don't even know that. So we are going to follow the process of slot booking, admit card generation, frisking, reporting 1 hour, 1.5 hours before your CAT slot, ensuring you are sitting in front of your system half an hour before the slot, and getting nervous and stressed just like you would in CAT, sitting and writing down, writing the paper with hundreds of other students at that center at the same time, test happening in 3 slots, when you're moving out the next slot is moving in, all of that. So you experience CAT before CAT, and what more, you do that 100 days before the actual CAT. So like Sazeal pointed out, if you all go ahead and make this successful, if you haven't already, go ahead and register on it. If you're a career launcher classroom student or a night class online class student, please ensure that you go ahead and register through your MyZone. If you're a test series student who had already enrolled with us, you can register through MyZone as well. It's a nominal price for test series students, just 99 plus GST. And if you're a non-CL student, even you can go ahead and register for it at just 149 plus GST. We've ensured we've not kept the price high. The objective is not to earn, the objective is nothing, the objective is to give you the experience. It's about ensuring that you are able to understand what CAT involves. And like Sazeal said, shit just got real. Go experience the absolute reality in about 10 days time.
Yeah, so on the screen hai notification out, and yeah, shit just got real. Chalo, let's start with that.
Perfect. Fabulous. So let's go ahead and kickstart. And jaise ye chal raha hai, I also like Vishesh has just put out a statement. Flexi 9 was unique with VRC RCs. Thank you for the surprise. There are a lot more surprises coming up, guys. We've got another, what, if I'm not wrong, at least about 15 17 mocks to go. 30 mocks jana hai, maybe a little more. We've got about 17 18 mocks to go. So you've got a long way to go. We're going to experiment. We're going to ensure that we cover all bases, so that CAT, even if it throws up a surprise, it's not a surprise for anybody who has taken the CL mock. So that's going to be a promise at our end. Your promise needs to be to go ahead and take every mock, to go ahead and analyze every mock, and to go ahead and take advantage of these unique features that we're providing, like the CDC3, which you can take offline. Do all of that, get your hands dirty, and I'm sure you'll benefit from it. Like Sazeal pointed out, we've done this before and students have benefited from it, like the FIBs that came a couple of years back. Okay, let's go ahead and kickstart. Okay, sir, in Chandigarh available hai this test series? Bilkul available hai, Rachna. Okay, so this is what we're going to go ahead and discuss. This is our agenda for today. Obviously talking about the notification, what are some of the important dates for you to keep in mind, eligibility and reservation, fee and admission process, the different programs offered, CL's big announcement. Last year we had a big announcement where we spoke about OpenCAT. This year we've got big announcements. So we are going to cover 2 to 3 announcements. So it's getting bigger as we speak. What should be your final strategy? I think we've got roughly around 120 days to go. So what you should be doing in that, and finally, ask us your questions, whatever doubts you might be having. I would recommend, in case you have specific doubts to what we are talking about, on the screen, please go ahead and pose it then. If not, if it's something different, wait till the end. Otherwise, we'll just go in a different tangent altogether. And this session probably आपके 12:30 बजे का जो मॉक है उससे पहले खत्म नहीं होगा for a couple of you all who booked that slot. So let that not happen. Okay, so let's quickly go ahead and kickstart. How many of you all get physical newspapers? Between Sazeal and me this morning we were saying, यार हम लोग को एक आ तो गया notification, newspaper हम दोनों के घर पे है नहीं.
मेरे पे आता है Gautam, there's a generation gap na. I have always been reading newspapers, and even now for me day starts with a newspaper. So paper में ad आ गया है, मैंने देख लिया है.
हाँ तो जीपी मेरे को वही करना पड़ा. I called up home. I called up my mother. I was like, एक बार न्यूज़पेपर खोल के मेरे को बताओ तो आपको दिख रहा है ये ऐड ये हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा. And then Neha in our team, she called home, so they get a Hindi newspaper. So we validated. हाँ, दैनिक जागरण में भी आ गया, TY में भी आ गया है. ये 2 validation हुई हमारे end पे. यहाँ this has actually come out. So yeah. So this is what the notification looks like. I hope a few of you all have seen this. You will also soon be able to see it online on the iimcat.ac.in website. As of about half an hour back, it wasn't updated. It was still showing CAT 2024 data, but generally it gets updated sometime today on the day of the notification, and that website will start reading CAT 25, and you will see a section niche called CAT 25 advertisement. So do go out and stay on the lookout for that. You should be able to see it. 2 to 3 things. I don't have a pen here. Apologies for that. But bold में ही है, तो CAT has helped us out a little bit. Bold अगर देखें 30th November 2025 in 3 sessions. So that means you know the date of the exam. As we've been stating, it will be the last Sunday. It is on the 30th of November. 3 sessions also means 8:30, 12:30, 4:30. I think more or less confirmed hai. I don't see a lot of changes with respect to that. So you can expect that it will be 8:30, 12:30, and 4:30. And you can expect it to be a 2-hour paper. So this is my takeaway. One thing, I think the slide just got changed. Yeah. One thing additional which I can see here very categorically is the price. It's 1,300. You will see registration fees niche left column mein. It's 1,300 for SC, ST, PWD. It was 1,250 last year. It's 2,600 for other categories, which basically means OBC and general category students. It was 2,500 last year. So basically, 1,250 has moved to 1,300, 2,500 has moved to 2,600. That's the only change that we can see at this point in time. But as we stated, more and more data will be available as it gets updated on the website. Anything, Sazeal, GP, to add here before we move ahead?
Nothing really.
No, you covered
Perfect. Yeah, so the important dates, इसमें change नहीं है. Last year भी 1st of August को ही हुआ था, and today this year also it starts on the 1st of August. I don't know it's good or bad, but 3rd of August we come with RT99 as well. तो उसमें अगर कोई doubts about होंगे इसके बारे में बता देना. We'll have a form filling session right after RT99 so that we give it 2 or 3 days for things to settle down. Generally होता क्या 1-2 दिन थोड़े errors भी आते हैं, technical errors. Because the website is also stabilizing itself. So my recommendation to everybody would be don't fill the form on the 1st, 2nd. Wait for us to do a form filling session. It will be held on this channel on YouTube. You can ask all your doubts, all your questions. You can get them resolved, then fill the form. You can fill it aram se by the 8th, 9th, 10th of August. Do not worry. That also doesn't mean wait till the 10th of September, 12th of September.
I was going to say that. भी मत करना. So while GB says it, he is right in the sense के पहला experience ले लो और हम लोग बताएंगे form filling के बारे में. That is correct. But उसके साथ don't delay it for the heck of it because sometimes you don't know that the last date passes और आप भूल गए हो last moment पे जब भरने का सोचा है. Right? So don't do that at all.
Absolutely. Also, some of you all who are taking this for the 2nd, 3rd, 4th time वो लोग बोलेंगे यार last year तो date भी extend हुई थी, ये भी हुआ था. Don't take that for granted. Once again, these are among the things which I stated are unpredictable. Don't think last year हुआ था इस साल भी होगा. There is no guarantee that dates will be extended, etc. Plus, one thing which I want everybody to notice, because this is an error that people make, in your 10 and 12 marks that you fill in, you have to take all subjects, all, not best 5, best 4, best 2, best 7, all. So ये question अब मत पूछना किसी से भी, खुद के लिए you have that answer. You have to take all subjects. Please keep that in mind. That's the question that will come. Registration closes.
सारी चीजें हम step by step form filling में इससे detail में भी बताएंगे. So don't worry about it as of now till you see the form. Right? So yeah.
Perfect. Admit card download. Now this is an important thing, right? Why do I say that this is important? And GP, probably you GP Sazeal, you all might want to pick this up. We keep stating this, but yeah, the most important part I think of this is the admit card. If you all want to pick it up.
Yeah, admit card last year, if I remember right, it was around 5th November ही आया था, 5th वही वाले week में आया था.
Yes,
right?
Yes, 21
for
days.
Second week of. So admit card becomes very important. अच्छा, by the way, you know the rule, right? कि CAT में कोई भी exam में you have to carry the admit card duly signed, proper information के साथ, so the data has to be correct and it should match. Your name also should be in the correct form in terms of matching with probably one of the ID cards that you have. तो वो सारी basic चीजें तो ध्यान रखनी होती हैं. So admit card happens to be a very important milestone there. Admit card hence will be an important milestone at our end also. Yes. As a part of the process, which means, for example,
the most important part Sazeal being slot, right? मतलब उससे ज़्यादा important कोई चीज़ ही नहीं हो सकती. जो लोग उठते नहीं हैं सुबह, उनको slot मिलने वाला है.
तो तुम्हें पहली बार पता वहां चलेगा कि slot कौन सा है मेरा. So तब तक तुम, for example, the mocks you are taking for now, you will be taking on a basis of the comfort कि यार मैं शाम को 4:30 बजे लूंगा because मेरे को सुबह उठना नहीं होता है. Something of that sort. या दोपहर को ऑफिस में होता हूँ मैं. Something of that sort. So right now you are taking random slot as per the comfort. But when the admit card comes in and you know that it's a morning 8:30 slot or it's an afternoon 12:30 slot, where if you have to wake up for an 8:30 slot at 5:36 in the morning to reach the slot 1.5 hour before, राइट 7-7:30 के आसपास पहुंचना पड़ेगा. अच्छा 8:30 बजे टेस्ट शुरू होगा और मुझे 9 बजे 9:30 बजे भूख लगनी है, ब्रेकफास्ट नहीं किया है मैंने. ऑल दोस थिंग्स आर एक्चुअली रियल प्रॉब्लम्स. सेम इज विद द 12:30 स्लॉट यार. मेरा लंच टाइम मतलब उसके बीच में आता है, तो अगर मैं प्लान नहीं करके गया तो उसके पहले मुझे भूख नहीं लगा है और मैंने कुछ खाया नहीं, तो ड्यूरिंग द टेस्ट आई विल बी हंग्री एंड आई विल बी डिस्ट्रैक्टेड बिकॉज आई कैन नॉट मैनेज हंगर so well, right? So these kind of problems are real, because of which you will have to start taking the tests in the slot. So once the admit card is out, you start taking the test in the given slot. That's one. Uske pehle bhi you should start varying the slots that you are attempting your mock in, because you don't know कि admit card जब आएगा last moment पे almost November 10-15 days before CAT, it might just be too late. So if you want to do a habit forming, तो वो पहले से ही हो सकता है by changing the slots for every mock. So you have tried a 8:30, 12:30, 4:30, and you keep sort of varying that every time, so that admit card के बाद you can fix your slot to the one which you have. So I think that is what I wanted to say. GP, in case I missed anything.
Yeah, I think you covered everything. Slot is the most important item. So, and it's best that when you're preparing, you go for multiple slots, different mocks to be taken at different time slots. But once you get the admit card at hand and you know what your slot is going to be, all the subsequent papers should be at that time slot only.
Absolutely. And like somebody was asking, while CDC 3 we are conducting from 8 to 11th August in offline locations, I would suggest a lot of you all to take the 8:30 slot. एक्सपीरियंस फर्स्ट हैंड कितना डिफिकल्ट होता है. सुबह 5:30-6 बजे उठना, 1 घंटे पहले रिपोर्ट करना और फिर 8:30 से 10:30 वो टेस्ट लेना, एंड जस्ट मेजर इट विथ when I was taking this exam at home at 12:30 and 4:30, मेरा percentile difference क्या आ रहा है, and you'll understand what Sazeal and GP and I have been stating कि these are certain intangibles which you sometimes don't respect enough and realize how much they affect your score. So do keep that in mind. Test date, as we know, 30th of November. Result declaration tentatively last year they had stated second week of Jan. निकाल दिया था, if I'm not wrong, around 20th and 21st of December. This year they've stated result declaration is first week of Jan. क्या पता 15 December तक ही निकाल दे. But yeah, so CAT is doing a good job with respect to ensuring that they don't keep you in stress and they don't torture you for longer than about 3 weeks on an average. So let's hope that that is something that they continue with.
GB, एक थोड़ा critical question है, not really relevant to this discussion, but still, sir, my 10% is 79.80. Can I feel? Please do not do this. Exact mark sheet लेके बैठो और exact ही डालना, because that is what is required. You can't do a ballpark number. Okay? So if it is 79.82, please put 79.82 there.
Perfect.
Yeah, sorry.
Absolutely.
Back to the discussion.
Yeah, I think somebody is asking what is this session for? Well, we're talking about the CAT notification and the way forward. That's what the session is for. Okay. So eligibility criteria, this doesn't change. Basic funda remaining exactly the same, that in your undergrad, you should have scored above 50% or 45% in case you are an SC, ST or PWD. So do ensure that that is in place. If you're in your final year, of your bachelor degree, you know that your exam and your final mark sheet should be done and dusted by next year around May. It is okay if your mark sheet comes even by August, September, that's fine, but your exam should be over by May, June, which is before you go ahead and join your college. So that kind of remains exactly the same. There is no change with respect to that. Also, please keep in mind that, other parameters of मेरा class 10 में इतना high नहीं आया, low नहीं आया and all of that are not going to be parameters basis which eligibility for the exam is going to be decided. That is going to be considered by the respective colleges. So don't get confused between college eligibility and exam eligibility. दोनों अलग चीजें होती है. Exam eligibility is just what you saw on the screen. It's as simple as that. Above 50% अगर undergrads में है, and you are either in the last year of your bachelor's or you've completed your bachelor's, you are eligible. As simple as that. Okay, there's nothing more to it. Don't overcomplicate it for yourself. Okay, so in short, these are the parameters that you need to look at. final year student, bachelor degree, if you've done a professional degree, CACS, ICWA, all of that, is accepted. Percentage calculation, a couple of you all were asking, ये percentage calculation कैसे होता है यार? CGPA अगर आपका कुछ होता है, generally your university or your board will have a CGPA to percentage calculation formula built in. You can go ahead and reach out to them and find it out. It will also be on the university website. In case nothing is there, in case you are 100% sure nothing is there, okay, please verify that. In case you're 100% sure nothing is there, then you can do the into 10 wala funda. But first, please verify. As far as I know, almost every university has some conversion methodology, which is either into 9.5 or into 10 and so on and so forth. So do ensure that you follow that. Okay. One very, very important thing, many of you all will feel that, मेरा तो minimum eligibility criteria जो CAT में लिखा है, या minimum eligibility criteria जो IIM अहमदाबाद की website में लिखा है, वो हो रहा है cover. So that means if I get that, I will get a call. Please keep in mind, minimum eligibility criteria मतलब अब आप eligible हो. I will look at your profile now. You are eligible to write this exam. I will look at your marks now. It does not mean now you will get a call. So please be very clear about the fact that minimum eligibility and shortlisting में जमीन आसमान का फर्क है. And finally, one last thing, please ensure you use a very specific email ID and phone number with which you fill in the form. In case hypothetically, I hope it doesn't happen, but in case hypothetically it happens that you make some mistake in your form, please keep in mind you will not be able to edit it or change it. You might need to fill a new form. In that new form, use a different email ID, phone number. Okay, but please don't make that error, which means wait for us to conduct the session, which will happen sometime next week with respect to CAT form filling. Uske baad hi go fill the form. So all your questions will be answered there. Yeah, a question which I see on the screen.
Harshita and Evdal, if you're in the final year, you're eligible. If you will be graduating in 2026, then you're eligible to take CAT 25. Okay? Because many students have this confusion. Don't worry, if you're in the final year, you're eligible. As long as you graduate in 2026, it should be fine.
Yeah. So Priyansh also has a question. While all of this will be covered in our session, for form filling, but yeah, in ICSC we've got best of 5 out of 6 in 10th and best of 4 out of 5 in 12th. Do we use that? No, you don't, Priyansh. I was also from ICSC and ISC. You have to take all 6 subjects in ICSC and all 5 subjects of ISC when you fill the CAT form. And that's the same for every single board. So please keep that in mind. Yes, Rachna and everybody, with respect to the offline mock that we're having, in August 8th to 11th, the center, which means, and one more important thing with respect to that mock, we are not allowing you to choose the center. We are allowing you to choose the city exactly like CAT. We will mimic CAT. We will tell you the center. So you will choose the city. You will choose, मेरे को चंडीगढ़ में लिखना है, center कौन सा होगा आपको एडमिट कार्ड के साथ पता चलेगा, like we do for CAT. Okay, we are just giving you the flexibility of choosing the slot. वो हम इस बार कर रहे हैं, next time हो सकता है वो भी ना करे ताकि एकदम completely mimic कर दे CAT को, but this time we are allowing you to choose the slot. So yes, you will be able to choose your slot. Yeah.
To add to this, slot selection is also available for a limited period of time because we also have to do the planning of the centers. So after a certain point of time, so let's say after 30th July or 31st July, we will allocate the slots from our as per the city of the student wants, right?
Perfect. So yeah, so registration has to happen first. That means if you're a student who is not already a full-time career launcher student, then you'll need to pay for it before, and post that you'll be able to book your slot and city. Okay, perfect. Let's keep moving. Okay. Okay, so reservation, I think we're all aware of. I don't want to get too deep into it. These are things that are known. I just hope that nobody here is going to cry about reservation later on. Nobody here is going to complain about reservation later on. Nobody here is going to come out and state later on, यार मेरे को तो 99.6 आ गया कॉल नहीं आया, उसको 92 आ गया कॉल आ गया. You know this 120 days before CAT. You actually knew this 300 days before CAT. When you know something, it is your target. If after that also you are going to come out and state in December or January or something, मेरे को 99.9 पे नहीं आया, उसको 91 पे आ गया, you knew it beforehand. I think GP, you're about to say something.
And at this
stage, I'm saying ये तो तुम्हें शायद You knew when you joined your college also. When you joined your college from your after your 12th, you knew this. So there's not something you need to really cry about now. If there's an issue, please join politics, get and change the system, and maybe the next generation will thank you for that or not thank you for that, depending upon who benefits and who does not. But end of the day, you can't cry about conditions which are beyond your control. You have to look at what is within your control and work accordingly.
So GP, that's what I wanted to say here कि अब वो टाइम गया, स्टॉप प्लेइंग विक्टिम, राइट? चाहे तुम इंजीनियर हो, नॉन इंजीनियर हो, दोनों ही रोते हैं, मेल है, फीमेल है, कौन से कैटेगरीज है, ये सब कुछ अभी इज अ मूट पॉइंट, इट इज जीरो, राइट? स्टॉप प्लेइंग विक्टिम.
Don't create yeah, just to add to what you think, sir, don't create excuses for your future failure. आज ही excuse बना के तैयार मत करो. जब होगा, then deal with that situation. Hopefully, if you don't look at those excuses, that failure also will not happen.
But having said that, I will also say, know what the target score needs to be now basis your profile, which means use something like the IM Profilizer on the Career Launcher website, MBA Profilizer, feed in your data and know, मेरे प्रोफाइल के बेसिस में मेरे को 99.85 below that I will not get a call from ABCL hypothetically. Then know that. Then don't state if you get a 99.75 and don't get a call, don't state यार मेरे को नहीं आया पर और किसी को 90 पे आ गया. You can already know exactly the score that you need to be targeting. So please ensure you're knowledgeable enough and you target accordingly. Okay. Yeah, so exactly same, reservations with respect to PWD as well. So also please ensure when you're filling the form, you put in the right category. No category changes are accepted by CAT. They will not, relax it at all. Please ensure that there is no mistake that you make, while filling in the category. The general category many times is referred to as the open category. If you're looking for the word general now or open now, it's the same thing. Please keep that in mind.
गौतम में ये कैटेगरी वाले में एक ये सवाल है, I'll just pick it up. Silent Hive का है. Yeah, Silent Hive, if you want, the CAT website is available, there will be a certificate which is available or a declaration which will be available, which you can use. So if your certificate is not ready or you have applied for it before and it is not available before the last date of CAT, you can apply or register for CAT using that declaration, where you will say, I have applied for this, I belong to this category, and if I am not able to supply the certificate in time, I will be treated as a general category candidate. So don't worry, apply for the certificate, wait, hopefully it will come before the due date. If it does not, just apply using the declaration, which will be available on the CAT website.
Perfect. And a couple of you all might be stating that the format of my certificate is not the same as that on the CAT website. My recommendation in such situations is उनकी website पे जो format है उसको ले लो, notarize करवा लो, fill कर लो और वो भर लो. In case you still have a worry, what you can do is you can always connect with CAT. There are contact information which is there on the website, and if you try starting to connect from the 1st of August, 15 अगस्त तक तो connect हो ही जाएगा. Don't wait कि मैं 10th of September को connect करने की कोशिश करूंगा और फिर reply नहीं आया 3-4 दिन में. In general ये सब problem नहीं होती है, but don't leave things for the end. Yeah, GP, once again I can see you want to say something.
नहीं, मैं वही देख रहा हूँ कि बहुत स्टूडेंट्स को अपने सर्टिफिकेट्स पे डाउट है. Yeah, whatever government certificate you have, that's good enough. Okay, if whether it's issued by the central government or state government, it does not really matter. And even if you have to apply for the new one, there's a way out for you. So don't worry about this part. Whatever your existing certificate is, for example, many EWS certificate typically you have to apply for every year. Similarly, NCOBC. So if you have a old certificate, use that certificate along with the declaration and apply for the latest certificate. So इसको इतना ज़्यादा complicate करके confusion मत create करो अपनी life पे.
Yeah. Having said that, guys, you also have enough time now. I will once again repeat, a lot of this you are able to get and close within the next 2.5-3 weeks also. New certificate भी आ जाता है generally 2-3 हफ्तों में. So if you can do something to ensure that you have things with you by the 15th of August, also do it. But हाँ, अगर से 15-20 तक नहीं आया, please don't wait till the 10th of September, 5th of September. तीसरी बार बोल रहा हूँ, अगर कुछ 20th August तक नहीं आया, 21st को जाके फॉर्म फिल कर दो with a declaration. As simple as that.
Okay, मैं एक क्वेश्चन एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा था और आ भी गया. Sir, can I start my preparation now? Yes, you can.
क्या मतलब है यार, ये तो सजील, ये तो बचपन में स्कूल में सिखाया गया था. Yes, you can start whenever you want.
Sir, GP, there is
मैं
a
पूछना
nice
चाह रहा है,
Gujarati,
may I start?
there's a nice idiom in Gujarati which is called जागा तेरे सवार, which means जब जागे तब से सुबह है. So when you wake up, so start right now. Lala Shiv, अगर अब भी शुरू करता है ना, तो yes, there are chances. That's what I want to say.
And,
Yeah,
and,
GB,
and
sorry.
we have ample number of cases of students who have started in July, August, September and still made it to the top IIMs. तो भैया अब तुम्हारे ऊपर है. You have decided कि मेरे को करना है तो काम पे लग जाओ.
हाँ, और सेकंड गेसिंग मत करो अभी कि होगा नहीं होगा, ये होगा, अभी करो बस. यू हैव टू डू इट.
पहले फाइट तो मारो यार, पहले फाइट तो मार लो.
And IIM Sahil, please check the profilizer. Go to Kai Launcher website, look for IIM Profilizer, or just do a Google search of IIM Profilizer. That's the only one you will get. And it will tell you exactly what colleges you can get or you cannot get. And if you can, what is the percentile required.
The team
so
will
GP,
also put it
just
in the
for
chat
just
box.
for context sake, I'm just putting this question up. If anyone has any kind of question like this, check the profilizer. That's what GP is saying.
Dekho, it is difficult. Please remember, there's lots of information which is required before a call is given. Okay, they need your category. They need your marks in 10th, 12th graduation. They need the number of months of work experience. They need the academic background you are from. Okay, and plus, yes, your gender obviously wo kaise bhul gaya. Okay, so all these along with CAT score will mean what calls you will get. So please use the profilizer. हमारी approximation पे भरोसा मत करो. There's a system, there's a tool which is available. Use that tool that is much more accurate than all of us combined.
Just one thing that I'd like to add, because I saw this and I see this in a couple of other students. I have a 2-year drop, I have a 1-year drop, I have a 4-year drop, I have a 3-year drop. Drop is inconsequential when it comes to getting a call, because for all practical purposes, for that particular IIM or B school, you're a fresher. They will consider you as a fresher. जैसे समझो मैं अगर डायरेक्टली कॉलेज के बाद जा रहा हूँ, सजील आ रहा है 1 साल के ड्रॉप के बाद, हम दोनों को सेम कंसिडर किया जाएगा एज अ फ्रेशर. दे विल नॉट चेक, ओ इसने तो 1 साल बाद ग्रेजुएशन खत्म किया, 1 साल बाद अप्लाई किया. दे डोंट डू ऑल ऑफ दैट. सो ड्रॉप, इवन इफ इट इज कंसिडर्ड, विल हैपन ड्यूरिंग द इंटरव्यू स्टेज. So that's part 1. Part 2, during the interview stage, कैसे उसको handle करना है, क्या करना है, we will talk about during interview preparation and PDP. We have a very specific program for that. And if there is a logical reasoning behind that drop, ये नहीं कि मैं घर पे बैठा हुआ था और सो रहा था 2 साल बिना कुछ करे. If there is any specific logical reasoning behind it, you will be able to handle it. Every year we have a lot of students. Like this year I had a particular student with a 5-year drop because she was preparing for UPSC for 5 years. She made it. She's studying at SPK.
This year I had a student with a 8-year drop. 1 साल का एक्सपीरियंस, 8 साल का ड्रॉप. और वो 8 साल में उसने क्या किया है, तो ये I was just researching things I was interested in. Nothing at all. और उसका फिर भी IIM इंदौर कन्वर्ट हुआ है.
Yeah, so exactly. And we'll मतलब between Sazeal and me, हमारे जितने cases होंगे, GP के alone उतना into 2 होगा. So those are the number of examples that we'll have between us. So please don't worry about these inconsequential things. What you need to worry over the next 120 days is the score that you can get in each section of the CAT exam and overall. Only worry about that, nothing else at this point. Okay. This is the one change that we were able to see at this point in time. Like I was stating earlier, the cost has increased from 1250 to 1300 for categories SC, ST, PWD, 2600 for the other categories, which means open and OBC. So please ensure that you take this into consideration. One more thing I want to point out is, for some of y'all, in case you've not experienced this before, please keep in mind over the next 3 to 4 months, you're going to shell out money. अभी कैट आया है, अब एनमैट आएगा, फिर स्नैप आएगा, फिर जैट आएगा, फिर माई कैट आएगा, एमएच. ये तो एग्जाम्स हुए. Sazeal, I'll just finish. Just one.
Yeah, please.
ये एग्जाम्स हुए. इसके बाद you will be applying to B schools. Please keep in mind, IIMs पे अलग से अप्लाई नहीं करना होगा. That's a good thing, other than a couple of them. But most of the other B schools, MDI, FMS, Excel, you can name them, NM, Simbi, you can keep naming them. So please ensure, if you've not already done your financial planning, my recommendation is over the next 3 to 4 months, you might need anywhere in the vicinity of 35,000 to 50,000, depending on how many colleges or things that you need to apply for. Please keep a buffer. Please start getting that money in place. Don't be in for a surprise at a later point in time. Yeah, Sazeal.
इनफैक्ट जी भी मैं यही बोलना चाह रहा था कि we were going to say this amount and the same calculation of this in the all about B school session that is coming up also. मैं बोलने वाला था कि I will keep that amount कितना है वो as a surprise so that it doesn't give a shock. But ठीक है, but please be ready for that kind of and please make your parents ready for that kind of an investment. Because दो फॉर्म भर के तुम्हारा कॉल नहीं आ जाएगा और कन्वर्ट नहीं हो जाएगा. So you'll have to have a strategy of form filling also. Like GB said rightly, exams for colleges अलग-अलग भरने पड़ेंगे. So please keep that money in your agenda, in your plan, right? So that's exactly what you said, GB.
Perfect. Thanks.
मुझे एक छोटा सा क्वेश्चन है जो पहले हमने आंसर किया बट वापस कर लेते हैं. एनी पर्टिकुलर टाइम टू फिल आउट द फॉर्म? ये बार-बार डाल रहा है दिवराज. लाइक विद इन द फर्स्ट वीक ऑफ दिस. सिंपल है. We will conduct this session in the coming week, right after first. Mostly second, third को RT99 है. So after RT99 we'll do this the week after. That is next Saturday Sunday के बाद. तो 4th, 5th, 6th कभी भी ये सेशन होगा, we will let you know. जैसे ये सेशन होता है, your job is to not immediately fill the form. Collect all the certificates, collect all the data, keep everything ready. Signature है जो भी वो हम सेशन में बताएंगे आपको. सब कुछ तैयार रखो और फिर वो साथ में लेके फॉर्म भरने बैठो. सो वो सेशन जब भी हम करेंगे इन द वीक आफ्टर 3rd of August, उस वीक में उसी के 1-2 दिन के अंदर तुम सब कुछ कलेक्ट करके फॉर्म भर दो. सिंपल. डोंट वेट एनीथिंग बियॉन्ड दैट. उसी वीक के अंदर फिनिश फॉर्म फिलिंग. द वीक आफ्टर 3rd August. Right? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So approx 170 test cities across India where the exam is going to be held. The open mock we are doing, in the first week of August, we are doing this in about 1/4 of this, about 45 odd cities. That 1/4 generally covers about 70-75% of the test takers. So you can experience it. Please do that. Specific test center on the admit card, exactly what you will find in your open mock. IIMs can change test center cities, dates and times. ये हम अभी आपको shock नहीं देंगे. We will not do that. Hopefully the IIMs won't either. And keep checking the CAT website for your test city list, just to be aware of whether the exam will happen in your city or you might need to travel to a specific city to take the exam. So just be aware of that. This is the admission process. Yeah, Sazeal, why don't you take us through this?
Yeah. Okay. So quickly, each IIM has its own criteria. In fact, each B school has its own criteria. Right? सबका अपना एक selection. So पहले तो even before this, let's understand there are two stages of selection. The first stage is CAT, and similarly other exams like XAT, NMAT, SNAP, or whatever. So this is the first level. The second stage is the GDPI VAT process that each college conducts for itself. That process is also very specific to the institute. Now, to get a call for the interview or whatever, right, you need to take the test, which is CAT and other such tests. And वो CAT के स्कोर के ऊपर एक प्रोफाइल स्कोर होता है. वो प्रोफाइल स्कोर के बेसिस पे कॉल आता है. This is a simple process laid out for you in the onset. Now, each IIM has its own eligibility criteria in the sense that the processes are different. So, for example, if I talk about the profile score, जो मैंने बोला कि percentile के साथ profile score, ये दोनों देख के आपको call देंगे, the IIMs or the B schools. They have a defined criteria कि मुझे profile में 10th, 12th और graduation का score रखना है. कोई बोलेगा, for example, some institutes say I'll only look at 10th and 12th का score and not graduation. Some might say I'll take 10th and graduation ka score and not 12th. So the institutes have their own different criteria. Some will give an importance to the gender. Some will not give a special profile score, the weightage to the gender. So there will be a difference of things, difference of parameters as far as profile score calculation is done. So every one of them has a different criteria, right? अगर criteria में और criteria के level पे जाऊं, तो even the percentage is required, whatever is required to be eligible to get into an IIM could also be different. Okay, so for this you have to check the websites of the individual B schools or IIMs. Okay, इसके बाद आता है CAT performance, as I already said, right? So CAT performance matters for different profiles. The percentile required to get into a certain B school, let's say IIM Bangalore जाना है, तो अलग प्रोफाइल के बंदे के लिए अलग रिक्वायरमेंट होगी परसेंटाइल की. फॉर अ डिफरेंट प्रोफाइल इट विल बी डिफरेंट रिक्वायरमेंट. सो परसेंटाइल रिक्वायरमेंट टू गेट अ कॉल फ्रॉम एन इंस्टीट्यूट विल बी डिफरेंट. सो कैट का उसके लिए इज व्हाट जीपी एंड जीबी ऑलरेडी सेट कि प्रोफाइलाइजर एक बार चेक करो कि आपके प्रोफाइल के लिए क्या परसेंटाइल चाहिए, right? That will give you an idea about what percentile is required. So this is what CAT performance means. There are additional criteria which I already talked about. So previous academic performance, previous maybe work experience, so 10 12 graduation case scores, as I said, maybe gender, maybe other things. So that adds on to the profile score. The percentile and profile are taken together, and then you are shortlisted. So the fourth step that you see is a shortlisting process. So you're shortlisted based on these criteria, both percentile and profile, and then the GDPI VAT ensues, the process of selection. Please understand, CAT is not a selection process. I always say this: CAT is not a selection process. CAT is more of a rejection process. If you don't like the word rejection, we can call it a screening process. So 3 लाख बच्चों में से अगर मुझे 3,000 बच्चों को इंटरव्यू करना है, 2,000 बच्चों को इंटरव्यू करना है, तो reducing that 3 lakh to 3,000 so that I can interview them, that process is CAT. So it's a screening process. The selection process starts at the GDPI VAT time. That's the actual selection process. Or then once that happens, the last stage that you see, final selection happens. So आपका final decision कि आपको final offer letter मिलेगा from the colleges. Let's say you filled up 18 forms. Of the 18 forms, let's say you got 5 calls or 7 calls, and of which you converted 2 colleges. That's the final selection. Or what 2 colleges that you got offer letter for, you then select कि मुझे इसमें जाना है, and that will be where you join. So that is how the process is. In case I'm missing anything out, GP, please add. Else we
Perfect.
can
Yeah.
No, I think everything's covered.
So these are the programs. I think ये question उठ के आता है. GP, I'll probably give this to you because ये question काफी ज़्यादा आता है. जैसे लखनऊ में कौन से programs में apply करूँ, SM पे apply करूँ ना करूँ, and all of those things which will come up. So yeah.
यार कौन से में की बात ही नहीं है. You decide which one to join after you get a call. And if you say कौन से में apply करूँ नहीं करूँ, you are saying I've already got the calls. Secondly, you are not paying anything extra to apply for multiple programs. The same fees of 2,600 you can apply to all. So my say should be select all वाला button दबा के बेकार की मेहनत मत करो. Third thing to remember is even if you don't want to join, let's say Nagpur, but Nagpur gives you an interview call, which is before your other interviews. You have got a mock interview for free. So there are 3 strong reasons to not apply to everyone. To me, it does not make sense not applying to a particular college or program at this point of time. Take that call later. Okay? And in any case, I can assure you, I'm sure, in fact, most of you know, कि तुम्हें खुद नहीं मालूम है तुम्हें मार्केटिंग करनी है कि फाइनेंस करनी है या तुम्हें ऑपरेशन में क्या होना है. Most of you do not even know M of marketing or F of finance. You may know other things with the M and F, but ये जो है clear होना चाहिए कि you are completely ignorant about what are the specializations, what happens inside MBA Institute. So you should not be sitting on judgment on the programs at this point of time when you do not have any knowledge of the domain. Take that call once you get the call, once you get the final admission offer, then decide which one to join.
Perfect. So yeah, like GP stated, just please ensure you apply to every single IM.
Select all buttons को पूरा use करना, बाकी सब मत करो use.
Yeah. And वो एक high भी देगा यार तुम्हें.
The only thing you could do is यार PhD नहीं करना तो चलो PhD मत apply करना. इतना पढ़ने लिखने का शौक नहीं, ठीक है. That's a separate issue.
Perfect. Which IM forms to be filled manually? See, for now you need to apply to every IM through the CAT form filling process. Any IM which will require you to fill separately will pre-inform you. For example, Rohtak requires that but that happens later. Generally, that doesn't happen before CAT. They require you to pay separately post CAT. That's how it generally goes. Rohtak does it. I think this year even Sambalpur did it. There were a couple of others that also went ahead and did it because they moved out of the CAP process. So इसलिए वो लोग ने अलग से कुछ किया था. But all of that you will get to know in due time. Do not worry. Every single piece of information that comes up at any point in time, we'll keep sharing. We'll share it in your Telegram groups. We'll share it in the My Zone. We'll have sessions for that on YouTube. We'll share it on our Insta page. We'll share it wherever you want, wherever you find us. So ensure you're following all our social media handles. Ensure you're checking your My Zone regularly, and ensure you're checking out the YouTube channel regularly. You'll find all of that there. So does program like executive MBA or MBA also clear through CAT or by direct applying? So executive MBA is through CAT. It is also through GMAT. It depends from college to college once again. The best part would be to go through, first and foremost, if you're looking at executive MBA, go through the website of the colleges that you're looking at and look at the exams that they accept. Most of the top IIMs accept both CAT and GMAT for executive MBA. Okay. A lot of questions coming with respect to 2 years work X, 1 year work X, half year work X, no work X, profilizer. And we've taken enough number of sessions with respect to profile, जिसके basis पे क्या call आएगा and क्या आपको करना है. I will keep repeating. Whether you have 3 years of work X, which is optimal, or you have 0 years of work X along with a 3-year drop. सबसे पहले तो आपको वो 99.75 plus तो लाना है. First work towards that, guys. Do not worry about all of that. Just work towards that. And sectional cutoffs do not come at this point in time. They come much later. Minimal sectional cutoff in terms of 80 percentile, 85 percentile is what comes. So basically look for an 85 percentile plus in every single section, because that will ensure you clear every sectional cutoff across all IIMs, because Lucknow has the highest at 85. Okay, so that's basically what you need to keep in mind here. Score versus percentile. Yeah, GP Sazeal, over to you all with respect to this.
I think a बहुत important slide, and this is something I would want every student to take a screenshot of. The reason is very simple. I see every student running after 99, 99.5, 99.9 percentile without understanding what that means. Typically, a 99 percentile means 50% marks or less. Okay. So my suggestion is, don't worry about the percentile marks. Look at these scores and look at these percentage marks required. 90 percentile is typically at 30 percentage marks. So if you got 30% marks, you are typically 90 percentile. That is what you need to remember. Okay, there might be a minor variation here or there. So when you are preparing for the exam, please don't target 100 percentage. Okay, try to try to attend those questions that you know, and which also means those of you are starting a preparation now, be a little selective in what you are going to do. Focus on your strong areas first. Make sure that you are getting decent scores across the 3 domains, and then worry about the difficult stuff. So just your preparation, whether it is VIR or quant or verbal, all 3 sections, focus on what you can do first, and in the remaining time, look at what is difficult for you. Yes, Sazeal, over to you.
Yeah, so just that a couple of us will have some kind of a pegging, right? कि इतना percentile के लिए इतना score चाहिए. For example, 99 percentile required a 95 ka score in last year. Okay, good. So that means I am planning for a 95 marks. But don't take it as written in stone. Take it with a pinch of salt. Why? Because if you see the number for 99 percentile every year, it changes. The year before it was 76. The year before it was 82.5. That's a variation. 95 and 76 is a variation of almost 19-20 marks. Right? That is 19-20 marks is almost 6-7 questions. That is how different it is. What it means is a paper may be, or a larger average level of difficulty of a paper may be a slightly easier, slightly difficult. You need to be prepared for that. So take these numbers with a pinch of salt, just to understand what range you need to lie in, depending on what kind of paper that comes in, right? So that is what you need to be careful about as far as this is concerned. And yes, at every stage you must have a target of the level above, right? In fact, RT99, the event that we are conducting next weekend, is exactly meant to take you a notch or a couple of notches above on this table, right? So that is the agenda of it, right? So yeah, I think that's that, GB.
Perfect. Just one last thing. Like GP stated, 50% पे 99. One more benchmark which I generally like to look at is 60% पे 99.9 होता है. Look at any year, 60% of the total marks leads you to a 99.9. Many people will know, and many of you all, basis your profile, will know, मेरे को तो 99.9 plus चाहिए to get a call from one of the top ones. That means you're looking at 60% of the total marks. So do keep 1 or 2 of these things in your mind, but that's about it. nothing more ki, like Sazeal pointed out, ki 95 marks chahiye ya 76 marks chahiye and stuff like that. Have a benchmark in terms of percentage of the overall. Also, overall, please keep in mind, last year overall became 204 because 22 questions हो गए थे DILR में. The year before that 198 questions थे. तो वो भी एक 76 to 95 के change में दिख नहीं रहा है कि 19 marks तो बढ़े हैं, but overall भी 6 mark बढ़े थे. Right? So please keep that in mind as well. We are always talking about 50% of the overall total score. And this year, at this point in time, we don't know what the paper pattern in terms of number of questions will be. You will know this only on the 30th of November. CAT will release.
इसी बात पे जी भी इसी बात पे there will be lot of people in the market and maybe some you know who's also who will tell you कि ये पेपर ये सेट कर रहा है इतना डिफिकल्ट होगा कॉन्ट ऐसा आएगा वर्बल वैसा आएगा प्लीज no one knows so please don't try to sort of no believe anyone who says anything
Guess, predict.
हाँ there will be some predictions और predictions भी कैसा होता है probabilities पे होता है कि हम हर तरह का पेपर बनाते हैं तो कुछ तो we try to make sure that everything is experienced by you so something will come true right someone who says I know कि ये होने वाला है वो बंदे को प्लीज इस तरह मत मानना yeah sorry over to you GB please continue what you're saying
Yeah, absolutely. I think very important to keep that in mind. So like I stated, you will only know this on the 30th November. Now CAT will also release a sample mock which will generally come out roughly around the last week of October या हो सकता है November first week में आ जाए with the admit card. वो sample mock से भी आपको paper pattern नहीं पता चलेगा. Please keep that in mind. That's only to help you understand the interface. That's it. So don't go and state अरे सर उसमें तो 66 था मतलब इस साल 66 आ रहा है. भरोसा नहीं CAT 76 भी कर सकता है. So you know like
वो पैटर्न लास्ट ईयर ब्रेक हो गया लास्ट ईयर वाज द बेस्ट एग्जांपल ऑफ दैट पैटर्न ब्रेकिंग yeah
exactly. So we've been stating this for the last 50 minutes, can't stress on this enough. Don't get into all of that conjecture. ये खाली first slot वाले लोगों को पता चलेगा on 30th of November. If you're in the second or the third slot, this is the only piece of information that you might want to hear कि पेपर में कितने questions थे before you go in for your exam.
और even level of difficulty या even the construction of the section कौन सा chapter questions आएंगे वो भी vary होता है across slots थोड़ा बहुत so basically you can't take the first slot also as the template के जैसा ही आएगा exactly
only number of questions
only number of questions will be same correct
yeah perfect. Okay, same thing from a sectional perspective, and this is basically something that Sazeal kind of stressed on as well. This is the reason of RT99, and this is exactly what RT99, which is going to happen next weekend, Saturday, Sunday, is going to focus on. Today, if you are somebody who's sitting at, say, a 50 percentile in verbal, attending that session, going through it, following every single strategy that is mentioned there, putting in the hard yards, will ensure that that 50 will surely move 2 notches up, might move to a 70, might move to an 80 or something, but there will be a positive effect for sure. Similarly, somebody could be at the other end of the spectrum already scoring 98, 99 percentile. Attending, following everything will ensure that you move to a 99.5, 99.7, but खाली अटेंडेंस से नहीं होगा. अटेंड करो, क्वेश्चन पूछो, डाउट्स क्लियर करो, फॉलो करो, उसको जाके फिर अप्लाई करो. उसके बाद कोई एरर्स आ रहे हैं या प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, अटेंड द ऑफलाइन RT99 which is going to be a follow up and state, sir, I tried all of this, it didn't work out, can you help me further? There is a step by step process. You can't assume एक सेशन अटेंड कर लिया फिर कुछ नहीं करूंगा, ये लोग ने तो प्रॉमिस किया था कि मार्क्स बढ़ जाएंगे. Life isn't that uncomplicated or that simple. It might happen, that will be great, but I wouldn't bet on it. For anything to happen, there has to be effort and action. It can't just be basis one 2-hour effort or 1 8-hour effort across 2 days. Okay, so there has to be much more continuous effort that you need to put in. This is the score versus percentile thingy once again. I think simple takeaway is ये last year का है 24 का, तो इसके basis पे ये मत जाना कि समझो DILR 95 was at 28. There have also been years, if I'm not wrong, maybe a 22 or 23, where at a 28 score 99 percentile tha. Okay. Similarly, in quant, last year, you can see 99 was at 33. The year before that, 99 was almost at a 27, 28. So this again keeps changing. LOD wise hai, multiple parameters come into the picture. So take it with a pinch of salt. Only follow the thing that we spoke about, which is a simple benchmark of 50% and 60%. That's about it. So Sazeal, GP, anything you want to add here?
No, I think
this is covered.
Perfect. This is, personally a slide which I really enjoy. Iska funda बहुत simple है. More than anything else, it's a slide that should ideally motivate anybody. And I saw, like Sazeal also pointed out, somebody had asked this question. I am just starting preparation. Can I still crack it? The best way to do it if you're just starting preparation is pick up any mock or a last year CAT paper. Start there. एक लिखो 2 घंटे. जस्ट देखो क्या है. हो सकता है वर्बल में आपको 6 मार्क्स मिले, क्वांट में हो सकता है 7 मार्क्स मिले, डीएलआर में हो सकता है 0 में, वॉट एवर. जस्ट सी वॉट इट इज. Corresponding score to percentile dekh lo of last year of CAT 2024, you will know where you are. Assume you are at 30 percentile. What this slide does is gives you the motivation that I can still move from a 30 to a 91 percentile. How? If I improve by one question every 15 days going forward. One additional question, if I improve, I still have a path from a 30 percentile to a 91 percentile till 20th November. So the objective of this slide ये नहीं है कि हाँ ये कर लिया तो ये हो जाएगा. It is for all those who haven't started, or for all those who started but are still struggling. मेरा खाली 50 आ रहा है, 40 आ रहा है, 60 आ रहा है. What will happen? There is still adequate amount of time. You need to put in the effort, and you need to put in the correct effort as well. It is not just about the amount of time you spent, but it is also about how useful that time spent is, how you utilized it. So smart work is as important as hard work. So do keep that in mind. That's predominantly what that slide was. Anything, GP, Sazeal? I like this slide. I just feel this is something that should motivate students irrespective
I think
of anyone.
you have hit the nail on the head. So I think the
So
point is given.
Yeah, I think I think the students should remember a very simple thing in that slide, that don't look for one big jump in improvement. That certainly from a 30 percentile today, I'll become 90 percentile in a week or so. It won't happen. It is small steps. If you keep taking small steps, you will be able to reach your target score. There's sufficient time. And if you look at from today, 27 July to 20th number, you're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 questions jump, which is not difficult at all.
Correct. Perfect. This generally, and I'll probably not spend too much time on it. इसका फंडा बहुत सिंपल है, ठीक है. The why I keep this slide. It's not that you will say, oh, CL के mock में मेरा 70 आया, actual CAT में 80 आएगा, मतलब CL mock doesn't mimic CAT. That is an interpretation. If you want, you can keep. But the interpretation of this slide is not that. The interpretation of this slide is a mock is generally taken by 8,000, 10,000, 12,000 at the outset, maybe 15,000, 20,000 people, at the extreme. In the CAT, the paper will be taken by 2.9 lakh people basis last year. That means almost 15x of the people who will take a mock, maximum number of them. आपको अगर एक mock में 50 percentile आ रहा है, your rank is 10,000 out of those 20,000 people. When you extrapolate that to 3 lakh people, your rank will now no longer be 1,50,000, because all of the remaining 2,70,000 people are not serious aspirants. Many of them are just there making up numbers. Many of them are just doing it क्योंकि neighbor में किसी ने IIM अहमदाबाद क्रैक कर लिया था तो अब मुझे फोर्स किया जा रहा है. My girlfriend is writing CAT, मैं रहूं boyfriend after the CAT exam, उसके लिए साथ में चले जाता हूं, and other such things. So people are there making up numbers. So what I mean by that is not everybody is going to be a serious aspirant. Where you are vis-a-vis the serious aspirants is the mocks. That's where you understand where I am vis-a-vis everybody who's put in the money, who's put in the effort, who's put in the time to see where they are. So please keep in mind that mock में जो भी आपको मिल रहा है, CAT में जाके you will see a slight growth if you're at the lower end. If you're at the higher end, see, we're not talking about a lot of growth. A 95 will move to a 97. A 99 might move to a 99.5, but nothing more than that. But at the lower end, you will see a higher growth because you will see a lot of bunching happening from these other 2 lakh people who are not preparing too much, who are there just to make up numbers, because they will end up in that 0 to 60, 0 to 70 percentile wala funda. There have been years before जहां पे 0 mark पे 50 percentile आया हुआ है यार. जहां जाओ पेपर ब्लैंक छोड़ के आ जाओ और आपको 50 percentile आएगा. Why? Because people are making up numbers, and GP knows that year very, very well. If I'm not wrong, it was 2016.
2013, CAT 13.
13.
CAT 2013, I got 55 percentile marks for leaving the paper blank.
That's what we mean by making up numbers. Ab jao, don't do anything in the paper. And last year, GP, how much did you score? Because you left the paper blank then also. Was it around 20?
I think it was about the aggregate में about 10-12 percentile. I don't remember exactly, but I think it could be something similar.
So say even if it's a 12 percentile, that means 0 पे 12 percentile था. 12% of India scored less than 0. In short, 0 or less than 0. So that's what I mean by people are just making up numbers. 10 का mark आया होता, GP would have probably been at a 35 percentile or something like that. So you need to realize that, and that's why I keep stating that you will see a slight growth. But interpret this slide correctly in the sense that at the lower end, if I'm scoring a 40, 50 or something in mocks, it might go to a 60, 70. At the higher end, that won't happen because all the serious aspirants are those who are writing these mocks. So you are competing against them itself. Okay? That's what this slide basically implies. Over to y'all, GP Sazeal. I'll probably come in between. 126 days to go, roughly around 4 months. What should be the ideal strategy?
I want to start this before in the slide before. Yes, 126 days to go. It seems like you have 126 days to go. 126 days to finish the syllabus. No, right? You need to. So let's break it down in two parts, right? So there's one part is a prep which you're doing. You're solving the syllabus, solving the questions, practicing, getting your concepts right. The other part is testing, right? अगर हम prep की बात करें, तो prep के लिए you will have to finish the prep as soon as possible or as early as possible, at least most of it, so that you can start seeing the application of it in the test, right? So some of you who started very early last year, probably you might have finished the syllabus, or you might be finishing it in the next month. Some of you might finish it by September or October at max. Try to finish it. So focus on doing the practice or the concept clarity. On the other hand, you have only 126 days and you have to write the mocks. So if you have to write, let's assume you've not taken any mock and you're writing 30 mocks. This clearly means that you are writing one mock in 4 days, right? Which is a little difficult to do because when you write a mock, you analyze a mock. So basically the time is not too much. If you say 126 days बचे, actually 126 days preparation के लिए नहीं बचे हैं और testing के लिए कम है. If you're going to take even 20 tests from now, that's also one test per week, less than that, less than 1 week. Okay? So just make sure that you utilize, यहाँ से 126 days को utilize करना is the strategy, only strategy, right? In every way possible. So yeah, back to you, GB.
Okay, see, to me, the first thing is that 126 days come hai, bilkul kam hai, but are they sufficient? Yes, they are sufficient to clear the paper if you are keen. Okay, so if assuming you are someone who's planning to start now, who's just started maybe now or a week ago, I think that what Gautam said कि अगर girlfriend तैयारी कर दी, इसलिए मैंने भी तैयारी शुरू कर दी. So please remember, she will not remain your girlfriend if she makes it and you don't. You will become an ex. Okay? So the only way of ensuring you don't become an ex is to ensure you also clear. So as far assuming you are working, assuming you are in college and you are not dropped out, your job at this point of time is to ensure you do well in your college or you perform in your work. Along with that, the only other thing you have to do is CAT preparation. Because as Sazeal said, time की थोड़ी सी कमी है इस time पे. But apart from that, you just forget about your boyfriend, girlfriend, your college parties, your let's say movies, etc. And this becomes your first priority. I'm not saying forget about everything else, but yes, do it if you have time. Okay. And do you have time or not? Your mocks will tell you. So you start your preparation with a mock, take the next mock which is happening, see where you stand in each of the 3 sections, work out your preparation plan accordingly. One of the reasons why we showed you 2 things, one was the marks versus percentile for the last 5 odd years, and how to and this is the second slide. Yeah, this slide and this slide, these are 2 important slides. Now this is what tells you कि क्या करना है, and this is varying. This is going to vary from one section to the other. Some of you might be great in English, but poor in quant. Some of you, for some of you, quant is going to be the strong area, but verbal may not be. And similarly, for some of you, quant will do fine, but not the other third section. So depending on where you are, you need to work out a span specific to you. One size fits all will not work because you are an individual, you are a unique individual, and your preparation has to be suited to your target score. Okay? So please take the mock, identify what the gaps are, and start working accordingly. if required, apart from your college or work, ignore everything else, is all I would say.
So, a couple of things, and I'll just put up a couple of questions. This is something that we've answered before, and I really like that the fact that students are realizing that we're providing a real cat-like experience in the next mock. Sazeal had picked this up earlier. I'll pick it up again, which is you make this successful, we provide you more. So it's a chicken and egg story. We don't know which comes first, but here we do. You make this successful, we provide you more because we are looking at getting this done for at least 3 to 4 mocks. We want to do that. If there are enough number of students who go, if there is enough number of halla gulla, if there is enough number of participation, then it makes sense for us to do it as well, and we'd want to do that. Because if there isn't enough participation, we'll have to start charging higher. We don't want to do that. It's not a money thing, but it also can't be a loss making thing. You're all getting into a business course. You need to understand that. So for us to be able to do this, we need volumes. We need you all to be able to go ahead and do it. We are taking a punt in the first go. If it becomes successful, we'll surely do it. And I'll keep taking one or two questions because
I want to add to that. I want to add to that thing that
please.
you said, right? If you want a more near to CAT picture in terms of your performance in percentile, also make sure all your friends who are taking CAT take this test. That will help you to understand where you stand in a real sense as of today, right? So yeah, that's what I want to add.
Yeah, so I'll just take some 2 or 3 questions here because it's about the strategy. So, jo bhi strategy oriented problems are. GB, probably this one for you from Utsav.
Yeah.
Completed arithmetic, doing VRC for the last 4-5 months. DLR is okay. Quant syllabus remains tense. How should I cover? And I'm guessing this will be a similar story for quite a few.
Okay. Now when you're looking at कि quant में tension है, please remember quant में जो है about 70-80% if not more is what you have already studied in 10th, and your job is to focus on that before you do anything else. And in 10th also you knew what were the areas you were good at, so start from there itself. Typically the other thing you need to remember is what you studied in 10th was the basics of arithmetic and algebra is about 70-75% of the paper. So out of 22 questions of quant, you will typically get about 15 odd questions from arithmetic and algebra. Let's say 8 to 9 from quant and 6 to 7 from algebra. 8 to 9 from arithmetic and 6 to 7 from algebra. So instead of worrying about the entire paper, take it bit by bit. Finish off arithmetic first and then go to algebra and see if you can handle these two. Secondly, I hope you are attending the Race to 99 on 2nd and 3rd. There we'll be talking about basic approaches. I would not say strategies, but approach. How do we approach a problem? How do we get make sure that we are able to use the choices? How do we ensure we are able to solve the same question in a very short span of time? Which what students call jugaad solution, but basically it's an approach. Okay? So start from there and hopefully things will work out for you. My first thing, again, I'm repeating myself, is arithmetic algebra ढंग से कर लो, उसके बाद बाकी चीज की बात करेंगे. Don't worry about the entire paper at this point of time. And then yes, don't ignore the old CAT papers. Okay. So if you are doing arithmetic algebra, please make sure you do all the questions from CAT 17 to 24, sorry. All arithmetic questions, algebra questions from CAT 17 to 24 should definitely be attempted by you. Because उससे तुमको समझ आ जाएगा कि whatever we have studied, are you able to apply it or not? And in many of those questions, again, you will find jugaad solutions or approaches which are different from the conventional approach which you need to do. And one last thing, I find large number of students practicing a lot, but very few students revise. Okay? Gautam is smiling because उसे मालूम है हर बार मैं ये बोलता हूँ, लेकिन कुछ उसका फायदा नहीं होता है. But फिर भी आदत से मजबूर हूँ तो मैं बोल ही देता हूँ उसमें. Okay? So please start revising also, which means one day in a week, keep for revision for quant. Which means pick up all those questions which you struggled with, which you could solve but you are not very sure about, which confuse you, which clear a certain concept, which give you a certain shortcut, which tell you an alternate way of doing the question. All those questions, sit one day in a week, let's say every Friday, जुम्मे के जुम्मे बैठ के खाली उन सवालों को you solve them again. You don't read them, you solve them again. Bookmark those questions, and as you keep doing them, you'll start becoming better. What revision does is it helps you not only improve your accuracy, it also improves your speed. Because then you're able to also identify the patterns in the question and pick up the right approach for the question. Yes, Gautam, back to you.
Yeah. So two parts. One, I think Ayushman's question is, a carry forward of what you've been stating till now. You answered something I think it was for Utsav, and Ayushman's question is probably one step ahead. वो बोल रहा है, सर उसने तो अरिथमेटिक भी कर लिया, मैंने तो वो भी नहीं किया, मेरे को तो डर लगता है, क्वांट बैकग्राउंड से हूँ, बट आई थिंक द आंसर मोर और लेस रिमेन्स द सेम, कि भैया अरिथमेटिक अलजेब्रा कर लो. एंड एक और अच्छी चीज फॉर आयुष्मान इज दैट बायो बैकग्राउंड है. That which basically means if the 10-12 marks are okay, when I mean okay, hopefully 90 plus nahi hai, to at least 80 plus, and undergrads is also okay, 70-75 plus. The requirement that he will have to get into some of the colleges vis-a-vis some of the other students will be slightly lesser, so that's a good thing for him. But once again, from a preparation perspective, same baat hai, क्वांट मत समझो उसको, क्लास 7 टू क्लास 10 का मैथ समझो, उसको प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस समझो, उसको रेशियो समझो, उसको मिक्सचर समझो, उसको सेलिंग प्राइस कॉस्ट प्राइस समझो, उसको आप टाइम स्पीड डिस्टेंस समझो, उसको टाइम एंड वर्क समझो. ऑल ऑफ दिस यू डन, दीज आर बेसिक थिंग्स यू डन. साइमल्टेनियस इक्वेशन समझो, सिंपल इक्वेशन समझो, ऑल थिंग्स, बेसिक थिंग, क्वाड्रेटिक, ये सब आपने किया हुआ है. आप सोचो मैं बस वो रिवाइज कर रहा हूं क्लास 7 to 10 एनसीईआरटी. Start with that mindset. That is the place to start, and then build up on that as and when you could. But one thing, GP, I wanted to point out, which is why I was smiling at that time when you stated that revision wala. मेरे को कई बार लगता है revision not only helps once a week, it also helps during the paper. For those of us who feel that we are not very good in quant ना, हम जब 4-5-6 ही क्वेश्चन कर रहे हैं, एटलीस्ट वो 4-5 में एक 30 सेकंड 45 सेकंड एडिशनल निकाल के जब मैंने सॉल्व कर लिया, उसको रिवाइज भी कर लो कि वो जो सॉल्व किया उसमें कुछ सिली मिस्टेक नहीं की, रादर देन सेइंग कि उस 5 क्वेश्चन की जगह मैं 7 क्वेश्चन करूंगा. पहले वो 5 इंश्योर कर लो कि उस 5 में कोई मिस्टेक नहीं है, बिकॉज लाइक वी बीन सीइंग ओवर द लास्ट 2 to 3 years, जनरली अबाउट 5-6 क्वेश्चंस मीन सेक्शनल कट ऑफ तो हैंडल हो जाता है क्वांट का, एंड नॉट एवरीबॉडी नीड्स टू स्कोर अ 99 परसेंटाइल इन क्वांट टू डू वेरी वेल ओवरऑल. क्वांट में खाली सेक्शनल हो जाए एंड वर्बल एंड डीआईएलआर यू आर एबल टू डू डिसेंटली, इवन दैट माइट वर्क फॉर यू. So that revision part, to me, I think sometimes even works in mocks. That's why I was smiling.
Yeah. Ayush and Utsav, one more thing which you need to remember. Anyone will tell you कि quant बहुत मुश्किल होता है या DILR मुश्किल होता है, but pick up any paper of CAT, let's say 17 to 24 are all available in public domain. You will find there at least 7 questions, 6 to 7 questions, which are absolutely simple, which all you need to do is apply the right formula, which if you have studied or prepared, you would know that formula. I will follow the process and get the answer. So your job when you are doing the paper is first of all to pick those questions. वो 6-7 सवाल करो, सेक्शनल कट ऑफ क्लियर हो गई, आप जो भी करोगे बोनस है उसके बाद तुम्हारे लिए. ठीक है, चलो. What other questions do we have on strategy?
Yeah, I think Rachit ka ek question hai. Sorry, I'd missed this. Yeah, I think this is a good question. In terms of any benchmark or any basic plan, कि कितने सेट्स में करूँ रोज, कितने आरसीज करूँ रोज, how to go about it?
ये एग्जैक्टली ये सब डिस्कशन हम लोग RT99 के टेस्ट टेकिंग स्ट्रेटेजीज में डिटेल में डिस्कस करेंगे. However, we can give you a ballpark number, so that also depends on where you are right now. So for example, if I start with verbal, what I suggest to students is minimum of 3 to 4 RCs every day should be done. It is difficult, but minimum तुम वो नहीं कर पा रहे हो, 2-3 से शुरू करो. 2-3 RCs तुम्हें करने हैं. अगर तुम डेली डोज कर रहे हो तो थोड़ा पार्ट ऑफ वर्बल एंड आरसी तुम्हारा ऑलरेडी हो रहा है. सो डेली डोज इज अ वेरी गुड आइडिया बिकॉज इन अ बाइट साइज फॉर्मेट रोज के रोज तुम कुछ कर रहे हो. ऑल द थिंग्स ऑफ कॉन डीआईएलआर एंड वर्बल एंड आरसी, all of it gets taken care of to some extent in terms of touching base on a daily basis, right? But RCs मेरे हिसाब से 2 से 3 RCs तुम्हें रोज सॉल्व करने चाहिए. And once you solve them, you go and analyze them. So you resolve them, understand why you got it right, why you got it wrong, which option, weigh the options and come to a conclusion. So all of that process needs to be done. That is my suggestion for RCs, for example.
Yeah, even DILR, I would say something very similar. If you're able to do roughly about 2 to 3 sets on an average per day, I'll couple that with something like a Sudoku or a Wordle or something, just to ensure that your mind is opening up and you're thinking. While traveling, you could do a Sudoku or something like that. Just keep yourself fresh. Also, daily dose is a very good thing. Like Sazeal pointed out, across the 3 sections, you should do that every single day. Uske alawa, if you can solve roughly about 2 to 3 sets on an average per day, and I would even state, अभी भी अगर आपको ये लगता है कि मेरे से नहीं हो रहा, डीआईएलआर में कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं आ रहा, for the next 3 weeks you still have time where you can state, I will not do things with a timer. My objective is just to get confidence and just to feel that I can solve sets. So even if it means कि एक सेट सॉल्व करने में मेरे को 40 मिनट्स लग रहे, 45 मिनट्स लग रहे, कर लो, अभी भी कर सकते हो फॉर 3 weeks. मिड अगस्त के बाद मे बी वी विल नॉट स्टेट द सेम थिंग, विल से नहीं अब टाइमर के साथ करो, ये करो, वो करो एंड स्टफ लाइक दैट. But even right now, the objective is to get as much confidence as I can get, which means I feel that I have the ability to solve sets. I can crack sets. So I would still spend that 1 hour, 2 hours, 45 minutes, jo bhi lage to crack a set, get that positive feeling, get the serotonin rush, get the adrenaline rush, get everything working for you in your favor, and then move to an exam. And even in a mock, if you're unable to do 3 sets, वो set जरूरत नहीं है. Can I crack 1 set in totality to begin with? एक महीने क्या रेगुलरली इन एवरी मॉक कैन आई इंश्योर कि वो 15 मार्क तो गारंटीड आ रहा है, एंड देन स्लोली मूव फ्रॉम देयर. कुछ तो गारंटीड कर लो. मैं पॉकेट में जब जाता हूं, ग्राउंड पे मैच शुरू होता है, मेरे को पता है क्वांट में 5 तो निकाल ही पाऊंगा, डीआईएलआर में 1 सेट तो कर ही पाऊंगा, आरसी तो 2 कर ही पाऊंगा. इसके साथ मेरा शुरू होता है गेम. अगर मेंटालिटी ऐसे होगी कि कम व्हाट में दिस मच आई कैन डू, एटलीस्ट यू विल स्टार्ट ऑफ ऑन अ पॉजिटिव नोट. सो दैट्स वन थिंग व्हिच आई थिंक यू शुड डू इन डीआईएलआर. या जीपी क्वांट.
I would say quant is similar. ऐसा कोई फर्क उसमें भी नहीं करना है, but you need to, as I've already said, you need to start with arithmetic first and go topic by topic, and you'll realize that there are not too many concepts involved. But you do need to practice question on a regular basis. So if you're a CL student, you have your study material, just follow the study material. Make sure if you not the 100%, at least do 50% of the exercise in your funda book. That should more than suffice. And in addition to that, keep taking the mocks. And remember, mocks are your learning tool. Mocks are not only testing. Yeah, they do a bit of testing. How well are you prepared at this point of time? But the primary focus is learning. So through the mocks, and especially from a repeater's perspective, the mocks should be your primary tool for preparation. Because if you are a repeater and you got 85-90% that last time, basically इसका मतलब ये concepts by and large ठीक ठाक है ना, या मे बी किसी एक section में थोड़ी सी fight है. So there, what you need to do is make sure every mock you revise, you attempt, you analyze, you identify questions for revision, and go back to your books, do a bit of practice, and then to the next mock again. In between revision to chahiye hai. So that's what I would say as far as quant is concerned. Maybe about 30-35 questions a day should be good enough.
Yeah. Perfect. So with all of that done, I think we've got 2 or 3 very specific announcements that we wanted to focus on, we want to talk about, which I think are going to be very useful for you over the course of your next 100-day preparation. 1 or 2 of them we've been talking about a lot, right? We spoke about the offline mock, which will be held from the 8 to 11, so you know. We spoke about RT99 in bits and pieces, so you know. एक और है जो hopefully आप लोग को already पता है, because we've communicated a lot, but we still want to get to it. Yeah, Sazeal.
So I just wanted to add to what you are saying in that sense कि ये जो plan next present कर रहे हैं, Gautam said it is for the next 100-120 days, but वो 100-120 days का अगर wait नहीं करना है and you want to make a impact, a leap in the next 1 month, तो अगला 20 days का plan है ये. In a way, it's the what to do in the next 20 days is exactly what we are going to talk. So like he said, RT99, like you said, open CDC, all of these are the next 20 days में क्या करना है. Now that notification is out, the shit just got real. What must be done immediately in the coming 2 weeks? Now, so let's start with that kind of that discussion. GB, over to you.
So first and foremost, we've spoken about this, काफी बोला, and I was very happy that actually a lot of that came from students. A lot of that came on the chat box. Sir, ये आप लोग कर रहे हो और करोगे नहीं करोगे, this and that. In case you are still unaware, still living under a box, and you still don't know that this has been happening, scan this QR code. You'll know what we are stating. The next All India Open CDC, which is happening from the 8th to the 11th of August, we are giving you a simulation of CAT 45 centers across India, not CL centers, the actual proper offline centers, where some of them might be similar to the actual CAT centers, which you will get to know later on in November. Go ahead, take that mock, admit card आएगा, slot booking होगी, frisking होगी, system के सामने बैठे रहोगे काफी टाइम तक, स्ट्रेस में होगे जैसे सब लोग होते हैं, फ्रेंड्स के साथ लिखोगे, एनिमीज के साथ लिखोगे, कंपेटिटर्स के साथ लिखोगे, बाहर जा रहे हो, बाकी लोग अंदर आ रहे, कैसा था मॉक, क्या लगा, पेपर कैसा था, ये सुन के अंदर जाओगे, एक्सपीरियंस और कुछ करोगे. All of what you would experience on the 30th of November, you can experience from the 8th to the 11th of August. All you need to do is, if you're a CL classroom or a night class or an online class student, basically if you're a CL classroom student, whether online or offline, just register from your MyZone. You don't pay anything. If you're a test series student, you can just register from your MyZone, nominal price of 99 plus GST. If you're not a CL student, even for you, it's a nominal price. Scan this, go ahead, pay and register at 149 plus GST. You'll be able to book your city. You'll be able to book the date, and you'll be able to book the slot, which is the time, 8:30, 12:30, 4:30 wala, post payment, and the rest of it will be allocated to you just like it's in CAT. Yeah, Sazeal.
So just to add a quick one, for all the CL students, this especially those who have classroom products, who are enrolled in the classroom products, this is a part of your course this year, right? We've added this to your kitty, right? For students who are in other courses like VARC and others, a very nominal fee of 99 rupees is what we are taking, which is in fact lower than the cost that we are bearing, just so that the seriousness is maintained, right? And those students who are not at CL, I think Gautam mentioned this before, it's just at 149 rupees, right? So just make sure that you make use of this. The cost is not important, the experience is, right? This will give you a real feel of CAT.
इसको मत मिस करना is all I would say. मतलब अगर serious हो, even if you're not enrolled with CL, even if you don't take anything else from CL, take this. More than anything else, we want you to experience it so that you learn from it. It's not about anything else, which is why we've ensured that the price is something which is as low as it could possibly be. And like we stated, if more and more of you all take it, if a decent number take it, we will try our level best to do this at least 2 to 3 times more. Okay, so the ball is in your court now. This was announcement 1. Announcement
I hope
2.
you guys have scanned the QR code.
Yeah.
So yeah, or
and if you're still thinking,
screenshot.
If you're still thinking क्या मिलेगा, ये मिलेगा. Admit card, invigilated, catch style UI timer, test lab pressure, frisking, वहीं बैठे हो, सब कुछ, everything that happens in CAT is going to happen with you. So do experience it. ठीक है? And as always, the same slots as the CAT slot, 8:30, 12:30, 4:30. We are allowing you to choose the slot, unlike CAT. This time we are, next time हम शायद वो भी ना रखें. This time we are allowing you to choose the slot. We are allowing you to choose the day. Okay? Just so that it's a little convenient since it's the first time that we're doing it. This is the important part.
I got a question, Gautam, yesterday from a student. कि सर क्यों allow कर रहे हो? Real CAT experience है, तो slot और date क्यों allow कर रहे हो? It's because people are working, people have colleges, there's Raksha Bandhan in between, so people might want to choose a slot this time, right? So it's okay.
And it's the first time, a lot of people, might feel, अरे मेरे को बहुत force कर दिया जा रहा है, this and that. So like we stated, we want to do this more. We want to take more things away from you. In the sense, not give you the liberty to choose a slot, not give you the liberty to even choose a city or a center. Maybe do that as well. Travel भी करवाते हैं ये करने के लिए. 50 किलोमीटर जाना होगा जैसे कैट में. जीपी तो हर साल मीरठ में एक दिन पहले तंबू लगा देते हैं क्योंकि वहीं उनको भेजा जाता है.
Last year मैं रोहतक गया था ना भाई.
Yeah,
I went almost to the Rohtak, 40-50 kilometers away, right?
So yeah, so that's the whole part. Please ensure that you follow this. Okay. Second, Sazeal, over to you.
Yeah. So the new career launcher app is live, and this is a big move. Why? Because those of you who are mobile, those of you who are on the way and want to still keep the preparation going, right? This is the best tool for us. You can attend the live lectures, you can take the tests, topic tests, sectional tests, whatever different tests. You can do all sorts of shit that you do on the CL student portal. You can do it on the app. Everything except writing the entire mock, the full length mock. क्योंकि mock mobile पे नहीं लिखा जा सकता. That's the only reason we have not kept it. Everything else you can do, and this will change the game for you, because when you're traveling, you're sitting somewhere, you can't open up your laptop and watch the session. You can do it. जैसे अभी भी आज का session तुम अगर mobile app पे use कर रहे हो, you just put your earbuds in and watch it on the mobile phone. It is doable. So it is a beautiful opportunity for us to sort of level up our prep using mobile app as a tool. So make sure that you download this app. In fact, let me just quickly add that the admit cards for the Open CDC will be available only on the app. Okay, it will not be available on the web version of MyZone. Right, so we are going with the digital first, mobile first kind of an approach to learning, right? So that is how we are going about it. Okay, so now the CAT prep is literally in your pocket. Sorry,
yeah, and don't worry, it's there both for Android and iOS. So in case you're wondering, nahi hai, App Store पे भी है, हर जगह है, Apple Store पे भी है. So please ensure that you're going ahead and downloading it, using it, experiencing it. And in case you have any feedback, because we've just launched, there could be some very relevant feedback as well. Please share with us. You can reach out to Sazeal, me, GP, any of us.
Absolutely.
Just feel free to reach out to us, and we'll take that into consideration. Just that अगर उस पे action करना भी immediately नहीं होगा, it might take a little bit of time, but it will be, if it's relevant feedback, we'd love to hear from you.
Guys, make sure you make use of this thing, because it is for you. Again, like we said for Open CDC2, like we'll say it for RT99, this is for you, and please make use of it as much as you can. So download the app today, check it out. There are a lot of things happening. There'll be a lot of other things which will come in, which will, for example, help you in terms of your personalized usage, in terms of gamification. A lot of things are coming up. So just make sure you stay tuned to the mobile app, right? Okay, so this is here for you to download quickly. Whether you have Apple phone or Android phone, please scan it, or if you can take a screenshot of this, please do it. Please don't confuse it. There are two apps. There was an old app. Please don't download the old app, download the new one. Okay, so the old one says old.
Also, if you've got friends, family preparing for CAT, something that could be relevant for them as well, so do go ahead and recommend this to them. And in case you've got a younger brother, sister who might be preparing for law, IPM or something, and you might be thinking कि अभी download कर ले, आ रहा है बहुत जल्दी. उसके लिए currently you can use the old app. Law, IPM, CUET, all other products are coming very, very soon on this app as well. Currently, we've launched this as a beta version just with MBA. So just hold on a little bit, probably within the next month, we'll have it for all the other products as well.
Probably within a month, yes. Right. And
the
then
third one,
the next agenda. Yes.
GP, why don't you pick this up? This is your baby. If I'm not wrong, it started with Quant for Dummies.
Yeah, long time ago. 2005 is when we started doing it for Quant. And then we expanded it to other domains also. Okay, but the idea of this 99 is to help you understand the paper. Okay, unfortunately, what we find is most people are so deep into English, DILR, and Quant, or maths, as many people call it, they forget this is a paper which has a certain peculiarities. And if you understand the background of the paper, the peculiarities of the paper, you can score much more than what you normally do. Many students in the post also are saying, when I'm doing the questions outside the paper, सब हो जाता है, paper में नहीं हो पाता, ठीक है? And then I can score something like 90 marks after the paper, but during the paper I'm stuck at 30, 40, 50. So these are the things which we try to address to raise to 99 and help you give specific formulas or specific approaches which will help you score well. One of the things which we need to understand is that multiple choice questions is a very, very different animal from the subjective question which most of the students are used to in school and college. And those peculiarities are what we can exploit. Secondly, when questions are created, papers are created, there's a certain mindset of the examiner. So we try to understand those mindset and help you exploit that also. Okay. So very simply put, it would help you. I would say go up a notch in your preparation. You can easily, after the session, if I look at the Quant or DILR or English, you will easily be able to do much better. In Quant, you should be able to do about 4 to 5 extra questions after the session by simple techniques and the approaches that we tell you. In DILR, you should be able to do at least one set extra, and in verbal again one RC passage extra. So which is what I meant by saying if you will be able to do about 5 questions per section extra, and which is 15 marks, 15 questions, sorry, and 45 marks. So it is not uncommon for us to see that students who have gone through this to 99 applied the techniques that we have said, practiced them and revised them, as I said earlier, also going up significantly in their scores. And many students who are stuck at 40, 50 percentile end up with a 99 odd percentile or more. And this is valid for all 3 sections: Quant, DILR, and English.
I think the key here was apply, revise, practice. ये पार्ट मत भूलना, ये मत सोचना attend is enough. Apply,
attend is only the
revise,
start.
practice. Please keep that in mind. So there are 4 parts: attend, then apply, then revise, then practice. ये चारों होने चाहिए. Yeah, Sazeal.
Okay, so I just want to sort of summarize this. आज notification निकला है. You guys have woken up. Sunday है आज. In the next 4-5 days, this RT99 is going to happen in the next week. So in the next few days, you can take up the CAT 24 slot to test. वो test दे के आप RT99 में आओगे, and you will be able to appreciate it more. Once you do RT99, you talk about जुगाड़ solutions, you talk about strategies, you talk about techniques. उसके बाद अगले हफ्ते, the next weekend, we have Open CDC 2. So that this is like a plan, right? Weekends back to back. Now that you are serious, next 2 weeks we have a plan for you. This is what I was trying to say earlier also. Okay, so make sure that you utilize this RT99 next week and Open CDC 2 the week after. Right? Register for both these events immediately. All right.
Now, we've got a couple of other things, okay? I want to talk a little bit about some upcoming important things, milestones that you have that you should be looking forward to. But before that, my team is telling me there have been upwards of about 400-500 students live watching this, maybe more than that. But number of likes are not there. So engagement बहुत है, questions बहुत आ रहे हैं, likes उतने नहीं आए. वो हमारे लिए नहीं है, वो उस टीम के लिए. Keep motivating them because there is a lot more that is coming your way over the course of the next, I would say 20 days to begin with, but specifically over the course of the next 3 to 4 months, as we lead up to CAT, ZAT, NMAT, SNAP, and all the other exams. There's a lots more coming. So do go ahead and like this session. Do go ahead and register, and do go ahead and subscribe to this channel as well, because there's a lot, there's lots that is coming your way. 2 to 3 things that we specifically want to get to. Before that, I think, before I jumped to that, I think there is one more, very, very important, announcement to make. Now, hota kya hai? We got 2-3 students here today as well who are stating, sir, ab to aa gaya. I realize the shit has gotten real. I've not started. Yeah, sir, ab to aa gaya, but I've not been able to crack more than one set, or I'm not able to score more than 6-8 questions, 6-8 marks in any particular section, and so on and so forth. So everybody is going to be at a varied place in their preparation at this point in time. In case you are one of those who feels that I need something additional now, 1, to motivate me, 2, to ensure that I'm studying daily, 3, to benchmark myself vis-a-vis others and understand where I am, 4, to know, exactly what are the things that I need to prioritize, considering there is so much to do over the course of the next 120 days, we at CL have bought a very, very specific program for you, which is the CAT 2025 Sprint online classes. We also have 2 different batches, one batch which is purely in English, one batch which is a English batch, Hindi come English, so that it's a little easier for you to comprehend in case English is an Achilles heel, English आपकी उतनी अच्छी नहीं है और आपको लगता है थोड़ी help मा चाहिए. So we've got 2 specific batches for that. We've also ensured that the price of this program is not very, very high. The price of the program is as low as possible. It is minimal. That program is basically the CAT Sprint 2025 online classes, which you might have screened right now in front of your screen. So I hope you've all gone ahead and seen it. I hope in case there is anybody out there who feels that there is something more that I need, something jiske basis mein my preparation can improve a little because my preparation is not where I feel it should be at this point in time, then this is a program that you should all be looking at. I will once again repeat, it is called CAT 2025 Sprint online classes. You can find it, Janak is going ahead and stating, I think he's already enrolled in it. He's stating, sir, it's very helpful for students. So I would feel that it is helpful for every single person out there. So do ensure that you've gone ahead and had a look at it. this is not something that you've gone ahead and missed in terms of the sprint preparation. Also, along with this, a couple of things that you need to keep in mind is this is a program which we very, very specifically priced at a very, very low thing, because once again the objective is price zyada nahi karna hai, kuch nahi karna hai. It is something that needs to help you. It is something that needs to help you in the last mile of preparation. So ऐसा कोई stress नहीं होना चाहिए आपको. And once again, use this only if you need it. If you're one of those who's struggling, if you're one of those who needs that additional fillip, then this is the right program for you. Go ahead and have a look at it. GP, a couple of words from you specifically from the perspective of sprint.
See, the idea of sprint was twofold. That the students who have just started their preparation, they need a program which will ensure that, as many students are saying, syllabus complete ho jana chahiye unka sabse pehle. So it has to be fast paced. At the same time, it has to be something which will cover what is relevant and not waste their time. Because many times what happens in trying to prepare on their own, many students go all over the place and study things which were relevant maybe in CAT 2005 or CAT 1995 or 85, but not relevant now. The kind of questions, while the concepts have been the same, the kind of questions have changed a little, and the focus has changed. So the idea was that can we give a program which will help a student who's starting to prepare now cover everything and well in time for the CAT and be able to get a good score. Okay. Second set of students that we were looking at is many students keep coming back to us and saying, I have joined so and so place, but while one section we are doing fine, the other section either faculty or some issues there. We said let's try to address that issue also, and which is why you find Sprint is available even in at a very low price. Gautam, is it available? I think it's available on the modular also, no? You could take only Quant or DILR or Bubble also.
Yeah.
Yes,
Modular
yes.
is about to start. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
So
modular
we are
part is
now,
also
based on the student feedback, now we are also adding the modular part to it. Yes, I'm by and large okay with Quant and DI, but I need Bubble, or vice versa. And that is what we were looking at. That a student who has a problem in one out of the three section, two out of the three section, does not have to pay unnecessarily for the third section also, or the section which he or she does not need. Okay, so these are the two broad agenda points that we had when we launched this program. To ensure that students don't get lost in YouTube, they do something which is focused, something which will take care of the complete preparation, will include the test series and all the relevant stuff, and be able to finish the program in time and do well in the program. So that's the broad idea.
perfect. Cool. So, in case there are any such questions that you have at this point in time, which many of you all have been asking. So this is why I was just adding this slide in while we were talking about all this. I am Profilizer use kar lo, because I see a lot of questions on the chat box once again oriented to this. So I thought ek slide hi dal dete hai. Please go ahead and use the I am Profilizer or the MBA Profilizer. It's available on your MyZone. Like GP said, you can go ahead and Google it as well. It is something that is going to go ahead and help you. It will help you understand exactly मेरे को क्या score target करना चाहिए and so on and so forth. QR code है, जाओ scan करो, you'll get all your answers. We don't want to spend time answering it for every single student, because then we'll only be seated here. आज इंडिया का लास्ट मैच भी तो देखना है, लास्ट डे देखना तो है कि हम ड्रॉ करा पाते हैं कि नहीं. So यहाँ थोड़ी बैठे रहेंगे. Jokes apart, a lot of you all have mocks to take today as well. So please ensure that you do that. Scan this and you'll get the answer to all your questions related to your profile and your target scores.
गौतम, एक मैं ये सवाल ले लेते हैं इसके अंदर. ये working family business but not taking salary in my bank account, so I'll fill in. See, if you're not taking salary, you'll have to fill that special. Family business में हो, why don't you ask your family to pay you your back salaries and start taking salary from them from this month itself, so that you get the full credit. काम तो किया है ना, अगर तुमने काम नहीं किया है तब और बात है. If you have actually worked in your family business, take credit for it. Do the paperwork, and this is, while I'm talking to Daksh, it's relevant for everyone. Many times we find students that their paperwork is not up to the mark. You need an appointment letter, you need your salary slip, latest ones, you need an experience letter. So please make sure, if you're working and you want to claim for work experience, make sure your paperwork is perfect. Otherwise, what can happen is that at the time of the interview, they'll say your work experience was so and so, what you claimed. As per the documents, your work experience is lesser, hence we are withdrawing your call. And you'll go to the interview center and come back without the interview, and you'll not be considered for the further process. So please make sure the paperwork with respect to work expense is there. And if you have worked, please get the paperwork done, so that you don't lose out on something which you deserve.
Okay, I'll pick this question up. DLR 1000 or sprint for DLR, which one is better? You have to take the call there. If you are looking only as a sectional, if you just want to focus on one particular section, if you want to consume content in bite-size format, if you just want to focus on मेरे को और ज़्यादा sets मिल जाए DLR का, मेरे को और ज़्यादा practice खाली उसकी मिल जाए, मेरे को quant और verbal में कुछ नहीं देखना, एक resource भी नहीं चाहिए, एक question नहीं चाहिए, एक session नहीं चाहिए, कुछ नहीं चाहिए, maybe DLR 1000. But if you're looking for something more, कि DLR 1000 के साथ साथ can I get a little more practice of quant as well? Can I get a little more practice of RCs as well? Can I get more exposure to that as well? Can I get few more inputs with respect to those two sections as well, which I might not have at this point in time? Then sprint might be better. So I think that's the way to look at it. And the same will hold if you're looking at VRC 1000 plus VRC 1000 or sprint for VRC. If you're looking at QA 1000 or sprint for QA, you have to take a call on, my only problem is just that one section? If it is, then maybe that might make sense for you taking a VRC or a QA or a DLR 1000. But if you feel no, I need a little bit more in addition to that, बाकी सेक्शन में भी कुछ इनपुट मिल जाए वो मुझे हेल्प ही करेगा, उसके भी थोड़े सेशंस में अटेंड कर लूं, पता रहे मैं कहां हूं vis-a-vis others, you can go in for a sprint.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Within how many days of a mock should we analyze it? I think we talk about this after every single mock as well. Sazeal?
मैं तो थोड़ा हायर लेवल पे अगर सोचें तो within 24 hours you should resolve and analyze, but that's difficult. So 24 to 48 hours is the ideal time to do this entire exercise. Solve the mock, resolve the mock, analyze the mock.
Yeah. Okay. Couple of things that we wanted to point out. This is something coming your way. थोड़ा light हो गया. I hope फिर भी दिख रहा है. मेरे को दिख रहा है. तो I am hoping that this is something that everybody is able to see. Just to help you all, what all is coming in July at this point in time, we already have a short series called Catalog. उसका फंडा क्या है? It is basically helping you understand. Every 2 to 3 days we come out with a video. It's a short, less than 3 minutes. It will help you understand मेरा next 3 day target with respect to mocks क्या है, मेरे को क्या एक मॉक फिर से लिखना चाहिए नहीं लिखना चाहिए. एज अ सिंपल एग्जांपल, हाउ डू आई आइडेंटिफाई वीक एरियाज ऑफ स्ट्रेंथ थ्रू अ मॉक एंड वर्क ऑन दैट. एज अ सिंपल एग्जांपल, हाउ डू आई एनालाइज अ मॉक. एज अ सिंपल एग्जांपल, एंड वेरियस सच थिंग्स. सो वी हैव कम आउट विद अ short series basis that 4, 5, 7 shots are out. You can go ahead and have a look at that. ZAT notification and form filling guide, we can expect that to come out very, very soon as well. In terms of August, like we pointed out, the CAT form filling will take place. RT99 is going to take place. Along with that, because we've spoken about those two already, there are 2 to 3 things more that we wanted to point out. We are starting with a series of must-do questions. 100 must-do sets of DLR, 100 must-do RCs of DLR. What are the different genres that you should look at? 250 must-do questions of quant across all different topics. So please go ahead, subscribe to the channel so that you can follow that. 99 days, 99 percentile was a series that we ran last year. It I think worked for us. We got over 1 million views across all those shots that we put out. We put out 90 shots. It was 90 days, 99 percentile last year. रोज हम कुछ बताते थे, that will help you get to a 99 percentile. This year we are expanding it and moving to 99 days, 99 percentile, calling it season 2. 2.0. So hopefully that is something that is going to help you as well. So all of this is coming your way from a YouTube perspective. Do follow that. September, non-CAT. Now that is something we've not spoken about today because this is CAT form filling. But please keep in mind, just like GP ने बोला था ना, सारे colleges को apply करना है CAT form में, उसी प्रकार I will turn and state, please ensure that CAT के साथ ZAT is a complete no-brainer for 100% of you. According to me, even NMAT, SNAP, at least for 99% of you becomes a no-brainer, if not 100%. So CAT, ZAT, NMAT, SNAP, MyCAT is a very, very good exam to look at as well. So all of these exams, please ensure that you fill the form. You don't make the mistake of मैं ZAT नहीं भरा. हर साल हम लोग को ऐसे लोग मिलते हैं. CAT अच्छा नहीं गया उतना, 97 percentile आ गया. Guaranteed था कि वो बंदा ZAT में 99.5 प्लस ला सकता था, पर ZAT भरा ही नहीं. सोच के नहीं, CAT ही मेरा हो जाएगा CAT में. Don't make that mistake. There are multiple people who leave a Lucknow or an Indore or a Kozhikode and go into XLRI because it is that good. Please don't make that mistake. So all those forms, please go ahead and fill. I'll just finish this and then I'll get GP and Sazeal to come in. October, we'll have AMAs. We'll have more strategy sessions. Last lap to NMAT will come in. In November, we'll have marathons. We did a Doubt Shala series as well, where you can come and ask your doubts. A session before CAT, which is just chat about anything. Few students called it out last time कि मेरे को relax करने दिया, नहीं तो बहुत stress में थे हम लोग before CAT. Last lap to CAT exam analysis, form filling sessions, and the exam analysis. And finally, December to April, last lap for all the other exams, doing a lot for PDP as well, and strategy sessions and marathon. So there is a lot coming your way. The objective behind this slide is बहुत कुछ आ रहा है, बहुत कुछ आ रहा है. सब्सक्राइब कर लो, पढ़ाई कर लो, फायदा उठा लो. And once again, like GP stated earlier, खाली अटेंड मत करना, प्रैक्टिस भी करना, एनालाइज भी करना. Just keep that in mind. Yeah, GP Sazeal.
Yeah, I think you've comprehensively covered everything.
Yeah, we can move to the next one.
Yeah, so I think this is about it in terms of what all the resources, in terms of testing, improvement, other peaks. These are all the products out there. There is a lot there for you. Go ahead and utilize them. With respect to anything else, if you've got questions which we've left unanswered, I hope we haven't. But in case you have, other than profile, other than मेरे को इस profile पे कहाँ से call आएगा, because उसके लिए profileizer है, please feel free to ask. How many attempts should I give in Snap because it's costly? You have to do the cost benefit analysis. They take the best of 3 scores. So you have to take that analysis. At least 2 is the way I would put it, because we can't even go ahead and state कौन सा सबसे easy होगा, कौन सा difficult, क्योंकि normalize करते नहीं है. And हर साल एक slot easiest होता है, एक slot toughest होता है. Let me just put it there.
Yeah, 2 is right.
I'll say minimum 2. अगर अफोर्ड कर सकते हो तो 3 दे दो, because किस्मत खराब हो, you do the middle, the medium and the difficult slot, then भैया call तो नहीं आएगी. If they were normalizing, then 1 slot would be good enough.
Yeah. Okay, I'll pick up 1 or 2 more questions. Yeah, GP, over to you.
Okay. I think ये लिया है ना हमने. Salary in cash. Okay, salary in cash. हाँ ठीक है. That's okay. Cash में भी है तो क्या फर्क पड़ता है? You got the salary, Kushpreet. Just claim that thing. Ask, request your company. Yeah, request your company to give you salary slip for the full period.
Correct.
ठीक है, salary slip लो, पूरा claim करो. देखो अगर काम नहीं किया तो salary तो don't claim the work experience. But if you have actually worked, get the paperwork done and claim this work experience. Cash में salary आई है, they will easily give you a salary slip also for the same.
Perfect. So I think we've taken a lot of questions. Hopefully we've been able to answer all your queries. See you in RT99 next Saturday, Sunday. Hopefully you go ahead and register for the open mock by the 1st. It's on your MyZone. It's on the eCenter. And also, we'll catch you for the CAT form filling, which as Sazeal pointed out will happen after RT99. That's about it from our end. Morning से शुरू किया था. Good afternoon.
तो मैं last सवाल ले लेते हैं. ये मैं ख्याल से बहुत important होगा बहुतों के लिए. How to deal with friends, because I've stopped hanging out with them for CAT. It's additional mental stress. क्या उनके साथ घूमना stress है, तो फिर obviously you should not be there with them. In college, not even attending some classes. देखो यार, as I said, you have to work out for yourself. If your friends are a distraction for you, not allowing you to prepare, then obviously they are not your friends. But if they're really your friends, then they will also ensure कि तुमको जो करना है, उसके लिए तुमको help करें, support करें. So don't worry about this part. Don't carry that load or guilt for their actions. Okay? If they are your friends, they will help you in trying to do what you want to do.
Just one thing that I'll add here, GP. Just one thing, which is over the next 120 days, don't just enclose yourself in a bubble or a room and state, मैं खाली पढ़ाई करूंगा. Even that might be counterproductive. थोड़ा relaxation के means जरूरी है, which means in case they are not doing anything negative and you are perceiving the negativity, stating मैं hang out करूंगा तो वो हो जाएगा. There is no issue in hanging out a little. There is no issue in watching a couple of movies. There is no issue in watching a little bit of cricket. There is no issue in going out for an odd dinner or a meal or something. Don't overdo it. But yeah.
Unless you overdo it. Correct. You said it. Right. Yeah. So I want to take up one question. Sir, I feel guilty after analyzing my mock test. What should I do? See, I'll tell you one thing. The mock test, and GP said this already, is not just for testing. Testing is one of the things. It is also about other things like practicing or learning from it. टेस्टिंग आउट योर स्ट्रेटेजी, रिफाइनिंग योर स्ट्रेटेजी, फाइन ट्यूनिंग इट, राइट? वो सब कुछ ही करना है. एनालाइजिंग द टेस्ट टू लर्न फ्रॉम इट, रीसॉल्विंग द टेस्ट, फाइंडिंग द औकात स्कोर, राइट? ये सारी बातें जरूरी हैं. टेस्ट में क्या स्कोर आया इज नॉट दैट इंपॉर्टेंट, और वो ओवर टाइम बढ़ेगा. सी फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ इट इज, सर फॉर मी 2-3 टेस्ट से स्टैग्नेट हो गया है, या थोड़ा बड़ा फिर थोड़ा गिर गया वापस, ये सब होता रहेगा. एक एक टेस्ट मत देख. लुक एट अ ट्रेंड ओवर 4-5 मॉक्स, and if you look at a trend over 4-5 mocks and if it is positive, then you are on the right track. That's how I look at it. Score को इससे ज्यादा कुछ भी नहीं देखना है. Compare your score or your percentile to your score or your percentile in the previous mock. मैं किसी और का देख के, मैं गौतम बाबा का देख के मैं दुखी हो सकता हूँ कि यार ये क्या है, उसका मॉक में इतना आ रहा है मेरा. अरे पर वो अलग लेवल पे शुरू किया है. Maybe he started earlier, maybe his strengths were different. You learn from your own experiences and that's where analysis comes into picture. So अगर तुम affect हुए बिना scores से अगर तुम analyze कर सकते हो, then you are doing it right. Right? So that is what I wanted to say. Anything to add, GP? Yeah.
Nothing else. That's fine. And yes, certificate तो चाहिए है. If you want to claim reservation, you need the proof for that. So if you belong to the NCA non-similar category, to apply for the certificate.
Correct. Perfect. I think that's about it, guys. We've taken all the questions. Hope started with morning, ending with good afternoon. Have a good day, and hopefully, this has given you the impetus to go ahead and fight hard over the next 120-125 days. All the very best. Shravani, yeah, we've gone ahead and discussed that. So go through the video and you'll get your answer. Okay. Perfect. See ya. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye. All the best.
See you.